Welcome back, beautiful people. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Up in just a few, we have our influencer segment, and we are featuring Tonee Marino. He's an 18-year-old independent rapper, singer, songwriter from Long Island, New York. Today, he joins me to talk about the recent tragedy that unfolded at Travis Scott's Astroworld Festival earlier this month that left 8 people dead and dozens injured. As the crowd surged, the Houston show was so packed that when audience members were pushed towards the stage, they were crushed to the point where they couldn't breathe and passed out. Others were trampled as calls for help were drowned out by the music. Now, Travis stopped the show at least 3 times to ask for help for concert goers in the crowd, though some have criticized him and organizers for allowing it to continue. A criminal investigation of the tragedy is now in its early stages. Now, subsequently, at a Rolling Loud performance back in 2019, this is some food for thought, ASAP Rocky stopped a performance mid-set when he noticed some people had fallen. The rapper continued yelling at the crowd to back up and calm down before he began performing again. Now, in this case, Travis Scott was unable to control his crowd. Authorities are still investigating what caused the surges in the audience of 50,000 plus people and how that contributed to the mass casualty event, which lasted, by the way, for estimated 40 minutes. Now, here's something very interesting. Officials worried that ending the show sooner could have caused a riot. Now, Travis Scott said he would cover all funeral costs for those who died at Astroworld, while also providing refunds to all attendees who bought tickets. Here to help me break it all down is Tonee Marino, rapper, singer, songwriter from Long Island, New York. Welcome to the show, superstar.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. What's going on, Zen?
What's going on with you? What craziness is this? Now, you're a performer, you're an influencer of sorts, you have a huge social media following. In fact, you're just performing in shows right now, you're traveling, your schedule is quite hectic. Tell me from your perspective, what do you think could have been done to prevent this kind of tragedy?
I mean, first and foremost, rest in peace to all the people in the lives that were lost that night. Many blessings and love to the families and friends of those people. Um, it's hard to say because it's like Travis Scott being such a big artist, and he also brought out Drake, who's like the biggest artist out. Like it, these crowds, like it's normal for them, like thousands on thousands of people, and and he's got like such a crazy energy when he performs. Like he's one of the most renowned performers in the rap industry, just known for like having the most hype crowds, the most hype songs. So it's like it's really not new for him for like to have people going crazy like that for him. So um I don't know, it's just crazy. It's really unfortunate, and I'd hate to be the one to point fingers at whose fault it is because I couldn't really tell you because I wasn't there. But um I don't know, because like you said, even if you did stop it earlier, people would have went crazy and got
Right,
mad
exactly. Like
because
from your when
right,
you're up on stage, right, you have a certain amount of control, I'm assuming, over the crowd. But then when you're as big as Travis Scott and you have 50,000 people in a room, you can only control so much. So the
yeah,
question is, should they have had more security on the floor? Travis Scott knows the crowds he attracts. He knows that people get very excited, they get very involved. So the question is, where was that extra security on ground? And as a performer, the responsibility, in my opinion, just like being on somebody's movie set where tragically, the Alec Baldwin thing just happened not long ago.
yeah.
It's up to the performers, it's up to the producers to make sure that it's a safe environment for all. So I do think there is a level to blame on both sides. But again, we're not pointing fingers, it's just casual talk. Now, you started at a very young age. You started basically, you're 18 now. So that means that your first single was dropped at 12 years old. Walk me through what inspired you to, at such a young age, want to basically leave it all behind and focus just on music.
So I mean, growing up, like my whole life, I just music was like the biggest thing. Like I grew up listening to Michael Jackson, Drake, Chris Brown, like just so inspired, and I've always like just went through life listening to music, whether I was doing homework, sports, like anything, So music's always been a part of my life, and one day I just figured, let me take it up as something like a hobby or career. I didn't take it as serious as I do now at first, but eventually I had the help of some writers when I first started. I just put out a couple singles here and there, nothing crazy. Like I was probably putting out 2 or 3 a year. And then as time went on, I just got more and more invested into it. And that leads to now where I'm writing my own music, producing my own beats, engineering in the studio. One of my latest songs I just recorded, I actually recorded myself too in the house. I also started editing my own music videos. So I've just been growing as an artist, as a person, and
So now you're basically a one man show, and your career has been steadily growing with a lot of views on YouTube. You have a lot of interaction on social media. You've collaborated on tracks with 4-time platinum recording artists. You're very versatile, I would say, especially after I checked out your stuff. Um, what advice do you have to the average uh, person out there who says, "Hey, listen, I want to focus on music and I want to go out there and do it"? What is the most important thing people need to remember going down this path?
it's honestly really basic, but it really is the truth. Hard work and persistency, and I mean consistency, like just being very persistent. And the more you do something, eventually you're gonna get better at it. So it's like you just gotta believe in yourself, no matter how many people doubt you. Because I had nobody support when I first started.
So
But
tell me about that. Tell me about nobody supporting you. So you have been at this for since you're 12, you're 18 now, and you're touring, or who books your shows, and
I
how does
I
that
just
work?
get no. I get a lot of people who reach out and want me to pop out to events and just do performances here and there. But I honestly probably would have been touring if it wasn't for COVID. I was really doing well and doing a lot of shows, and unfortunately, COVID messed up everything last year. So
Yeah, you and everybody else. So what about your parents? Are they supportive?
yeah, most definitely, my parents are the most supportive out of anybody. My parents are my biggest supporters.
Good. And do you have any siblings?
Yes, I have an older brother and an older sister. They're very supportive as well. But yeah, like I was saying, for any artist, if you feel like you have no hope and you've been trying and you're not seeing any growth or you're not seeing people going out of their way to support you, it's like it happens to everybody. Everybody's been at that point at one time. So like you just gotta believe. As long as you believe in yourself and you think that this is something you want to do for the rest of your life, and you're gonna take it serious and you're gonna put in the work that is needed to be put in to get to where you want to go, then you can make it happen. Anybody can.
Well, there you go. You said it. And you are living proof, right? At 18 years old. So, do you plan on at some point going back to school and studying something, or is this the path and there's no plan B?
Nah, there's no plan B. It's just this, like, because I have faith in myself, and I pray, and things have been going well lately, and I've just been growing. So just a matter of time in my eyes.
No, absolutely. But you're doing good. Okay, let's do a little bit of music trivia. Are you good with that? We'll do some Q&A about music industry. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Which Britain's Got Talent star had the biggest selling album in the world in 2009?
Um, wow, that's tough. Uh,
Okay, I'll move on to something. The answer is Susan Boyle. I'll move on to something
oh yeah, I
simpler.
wouldn't. I wouldn't have known.
Who had hits with Music, Hung Up, and What It Feels Like for a Girl,
Hmm.
or Like a Virgin?
Man, Madonna.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, Where Is the Love was a breakout hit in 2003 for which US hip hop group? Was it the Black Eyed Peas or was it Pearl Jam?
You said it was the title was "Where Was the Love."
Where is the Love?
Oh, where is the love? The choices were Black Eyed Peas and
Pearl Jam.
I said Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah, you got it. Okay. What was the oh, Back to Black was a best-selling album for which singer?
Um, I
Amy
have no
Winehouse or Whitney Houston?
Amy Winehouse.
Yes, you got it. All right,
Yeah.
good. See, look, you're doing pretty good. Okay. Let me do one more. What Australian singer, all right, Can't Get You Out of My Head sang that song?
Um,
Kylie Minogue or Tiffany?
Tiffany.
No, Kylie Minogue.
No, too young for this. I have no idea.
I'm teasing. It's okay. You know what? These questions are usually more generationally inclined, but you should, yeah. I mean, that was the 2000s. You should have known that stuff. Hey, come on there, Tony. What's going on?
I was 4 years old back then.
I'm teasing. I'm teasing. We didn't expect you to know that that's what it's called, trivia. But listen, thank you for coming on the show and chatting with us. It was a pleasure having you. Will you come back and do this again sometime?
Of course. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure working with you.
You got it. Guys, you have to check out Tonee. Tonee's music is amazing. He's all over the gram. Tonee with two E's, Tonee Marino. He's an amazing recording artist. Check out his music. We'll be right back after this. You're listening to Zen Sounds right here on 710 WR, the voice of New York.